الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهداه إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. This is the lesson number 10 from our commentary on السياسة الشرعية في إصلاح الراعي والرعية by Shaykh Islam Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah. Last chapters, chapter number 6, where he speaks about حد شرب الخمر والقذف وحد شرب. So he's going to talk about the punishments that are to the ones who drink all kinds of intoxic beverages, and Allah is so strange. This is so strange that brother can't hear or see. I don't know why. Anyway, it's on the Facebook too. It's clear on the Facebook. Insulting people, actually, but it's not only insulting them, but when you accuse somebody that he fornicated or he did any sexual acts that is not an official or legitimate act. So the Shaykh says, rahimahullah, drinking, or the punishment of drinking, means drinking wine, it's authorized by the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ and the agreement of all scholars. It is narrated by Abu Dawood, Tirmidhi, Ibn Majah. Drinks, or the one that drinks wine, so lash them, and then if they drink again, lash them, and then if they drink again, lash them, and in the fourth time, kill them. And the Prophet ﷺ lashed the ones who drank, and his caliphs after him lashed the ones who drank. Abrogated, and some scholars say no, it's not abrogated. Some say it's a kind of punishment that if there is no way to stop people drinking, so you can kill the one who drinks. Known that the Prophet ﷺ practiced that punishment. In his days, they used to hit the one who's by parts of the tree, the palm tree, parts of the soft parts of the tree, and by their slippers. They hit him about 40 lashes. Not about 40 lashes, 40 lashes. And Abu Bakr did the same. And Umar, in his days, he hit the one who dragged 80 lashes. Sometimes used to hit 40, sometimes 80. So some scholars say that it's obligatory to hit 80. And some say no, it's obligatory to hit 40. So this addition, 40 plus 40, it's only if somebody keeps on drinking and doesn't stop from that. So it's a kind of punishment, extra punishment, so that he might stop drinking, or so that others might stop drinking when they see him lashed 80 lashes. And the one who drank is still new and drinking, only 40 lashes are enough for him. This is a very accepted opinion, and it's the opinion of Imam Shafi'i and Ahmad in one of his two opinions, rahimahullah. Alhamdulillah. Record on. You can turn the record on. Okay, thank you very much. So this has to do with the punishment of Umar radiallahu anhu. When people started drinking a lot in his days, he added something else. It's just banning these guys who drink. And he used to shave their hair so that he will make people run away or escape from this kind of crime. If the one who drinks, we punish him by cutting his salary for some time, or we kick him out of his work or something like that, that will be a good thing, because it's a kind of punishment. For example, we discovered that so-and-so is drinking, and actually he has a good post. So we kick him out of his post because he was caught he was caught drinking. Yeah. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, somebody of his sisters, a poem that praises drinking, so he fired him from his job, or he stopped him from his work. Kind of intoxic beverage that is forbidden for a Muslim to drink. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbid, and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the wine. And they ordered the one who drinks to be beaten. Makes you go dizzy and drunk. Grapes, or it was from dates, or it was from fug, or it was from any kind of, or barley, or whatever, or even from honey, or from of the horses. all these things that make you lose your conscience, all these kinds of beverages are forbidden and considered as khamr. There wasn't any kind of wine that was made from grapes, because Medina didn't have any trees of grapes. There weren't any trees of grapes in Medina. They used to get it from Syria. And most of their drinks were from dates, soft dates. They used to make from them wine. The Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ and his sisters and his companions is very clear that anything that makes you drunk is forbidden, and it's called khamr. So the wine is anything that makes you drunk and that makes you lose conscience. Sweet kind of beer, something like that. But actually, they call it a nabidh. A nabidh. That you just put in it some dates. So the dates make the water a bit sweet. That's an official kind of drink that they used to drink, similar to juice or something like that. Sweet, because the Hijazi water has a lot of salt in it, so they prefer to put in it these kind of things, dates and stuff like that, to make it seem sweet. Halal. This is halal, no doubt about that, because it doesn't make you go drunk. Told them, prevented them from using some kinds of jars in this kind of thing, because it makes the juice get intoxicated quickly. Like all kinds of jars that are made from wooden jars, and that are made from mud and sand, and that are made from this kind of fruit that is called gourd. You know the gourd? You know the fruit that is called gourd? It's in Arabic al-qara'. Not fruit, I mean food. I mean, you just cook it, and it's the thing that was over Noah, Jonah, Yunus alayhi salam, when he was rescued from the sea fish. That grew over him, and it has a fruit. The fruit is called gourd. القرع أو اليقطين وأنبتنا عليه شجرة من يقطين. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Do you have any idea about this, Brother Anwar and Brother Ibrahim from the Facebook? ﷺ prevented them from using these kinds of jars because they make the juice become intoxicated quickly. Use other kind of jars that are open, and you don't tie them so that they won't get intoxicated. The juice starts becoming intoxicated gradually, it doesn't come quickly. And man doesn't feel that. He might drink something that became intoxicated and he thinks that it's still normal. From using those kinds of jars. That I prevented you from using these kinds of jars, so now just use any kind of jars, but be aware from the juice becoming wine. The thing that is forbidden is to drink something that is wine. But if it's not wine, it's not intoxicated, so it's not forbidden. So the companions of the Prophet ﷺ after him had several opinions about that. Some of them didn't hear that it's that this hadith is abrogated, so they went saying that you're not allowed to use those kind of jars. And some of them heard about that, so they said, well, it was abrogated, so we're allowed to use any jars that we want. And the same thing went to the scholars, so that's why they have several opinions about that. In Kufa, heard that some of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ drank and nabidh, the word nabidh is something from nabadha through. Thing between this kind of water that you put some dates in it so it becomes sweet, and between the water that you put in it some kind of but later on it becomes a kind of wine. So they thought that any wine or any intoxicated beverage that is not originally made from grape juice, it's forbidden. It's official. It's official. Like the beer that people drink, and like what is similar to it. They say that as long as it doesn't make you lose your conscience, you're allowed to use it. So it is intoxicating, but it's very soft. You will get drunk unless you drink a lot of it. So that's even that the people of Kufa used to say that that's therefore that's going to become forbidden. But the authentic opinion is that any juice that is intoxicated, we are not allowed to drink it, no matter what it is made of. The Prophet was asked about wine. What is wine? He was asked about using wine to get cured with, as if it's a kind of medicine. Using wine as medicine. So the Prophet ﷺ said, it is a disease, it's not a medicine. And he said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't make us get cured by something that He made it forbidden from us. Forbidden of. If it's proved that anybody drank by seeing him, 2 witnesses see him, or by or we saw him vomiting the wine. So it is said he has to be punished. If we just smell him or see him vomiting, some scholars say no, we don't have any proof that he drank. Maybe he vomited something else. Maybe, you see. He's drunk. He has to be punished, and this is the opinion of the 4 Imams: Abu Hanifa, Malik, Shafi'i, Ahmad, Muhammad. The 4 mature caliphs. The last one is Ali radiallahu anhu. Opinion of a lot of Sahaba, like Ibn Mas'ud and others. And this is the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. The opinion of the majority of scholars now, like Malik and Ahmad and others. Ash, and all kinds of drugs that make man lose his mind are all forbidden. The ash that is made from the papers, or not the leaves of grapes is forbidden too. And the one that uses it deserves to be lashed too. And it's more worse than wine, because it destroys the mind, and it destroys even the ability, or it loses man's way of thinking and dealing with people. So a man becomes like a woman. He becomes lazy, and not like a woman lazy. I mean, he becomes doing some acts of female acts. He becomes doing female acts, and he doesn't care about his chastity, and he doesn't even care about anybody doing anything bad to his sister or his mother or his wife, whatever. People do all kinds of nasty things and acts, but the wine is more worse in another. Wine is more worse in another. All this is what Sheikh Islam Taymiyyah is saying. The wine makes you always fight, and both of them make you go far from praising Allah and praying. Scholars hesitated in the punishment of the ash. You say ash, right? Or hash? You say the hash or the ash? Hashish. The weed? What's weed? Cannabis. Cannabis. It's a kind of marijuana is kind of it. It's a kind of drugs. Anyway, all kinds of drugs, no matter it is called hashish or marijuana or I don't know, all of these kinds of drugs, the hard drugs and the soft drugs, all of them are forbidden. And the one who uses them needs to be punished by the same punishment of drinking, according to the Shaykh here. By a punishment that is less than the had, which is 40 or 80 lashes. Because they thought that it changes the mind, but it does make you get happy and allegory. Puts in your body so that you don't feel anymore. Is it anesthesia? Anesthetic. It's like anesthetic. Anesthetic. Saying anything about it, and that's not true, the Sheikh says. They get happy in using it. They feel that they're happy, they're like the others who desire wine, and more than that. They get connected to it, addicted to it. They get addicted to it. And it makes them far from praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and far from prayer if they use it a lot more time. If they use it most of the time, that means they lose their conscience. It's impure, like all wines that are drunk, and this is the most accepted opinion according to the Shaykh. Others say no, because it's something solid, so it can't be impure. Others say, this is the Maliki's opinion. They say it's not. The third opinion is that we differentiate between what is liquid and what is solid. So anyway, it's something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbid. All drugs are some of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbid. Beverage and wine in the literature meaning, it's the same. Abu Musa al-Ash'ari radiallahu anhu, O Messenger of Allah, show us we used to use them in Yemen. The first one is called al-bita'. It's made of honey. It stays in the honey. It's a kind of honey that you leave it until it becomes wine. And another one called al-mizr. It's made of corn, kind of corn and barley, and you leave it until it becomes strong too. So the Messenger of Allah ﷺ said, and he used to have jawab or al-kalim, a small word that gives a lot of meanings. Haram, khamrin, haram. So he says that the Prophet ﷺ the Prophet ﷺ said, "Kullu muskirin haram." Meaning that he doesn't have to ask him about every other thing. This is authentic and narrated by Bukhari and Muslim. Nu'man ibn Bashir radiallahu anhu narrates that the Prophet ﷺ and the barley you can make from it, and the raisins, and the dates, and the grapes, all these you can make from them wine. Abu Dawood, rahimahullah, and the Prophet ﷺ, a general word that it's enough to understand that all these kinds of things are forbidden. The drugs can be milked in the water and then they drink them, so they have the same problem. Now the drugs, so we have, subhanAllah, Sharia that has a lot of laws that we can derive from them, all answers about everything until the Judgment Day. So we don't have to have an answer about everything from what our previous scholars said. We have laws, general laws that we can have under them, a lot of things. And that's why scholars nowadays, the majority of them, forbid smoking. Although smoking we don't find it in the old books because it was found about 500 years ago. So when it appeared, several scholars had opinions about it, but the majority of scholars now, according to what the physicians say, they say that this is the disaster of this era, and if people keep on smoking, they'll kill themselves. So that's why they consider smoking as something that is forbidden. Totally forbidden. Why? Because it has a lot of things that destroy your body, that cause you a lot of disease and whatever. Okay, now after we finished the punishments of drinking, now we're going to speak about the punishment of haddul qadhf. Al-qadhf is when somebody accuses the other one that he fornicated, or he's not a legitimate son of his father, or he accused one of his parents, and this happens a lot. And the word that people keep on using every time, which is the F-U-C-K, is a qadh. Qadh. Qadh, it exactly means throwing something. So if you throw this word on somebody, and you say you, F-U-C-K-E-R, fornicating, that is a very nasty word. So some Muslims keep on imitating the children of the kuffar. So they start using the same words. I remember, let me tell you the story. Let me tell you the story. When I was still young, I was a child actually, say 8 years old, 9 years old, with our children, our friends, and we were Muslims, but we were with some Americans too. So I remember that when we were with the Americans, we used to adopt their words. In the West, wants you to swear. What does he tell you? He tells you, or somebody wants to swear, he says, I swear up to God so and so happened. Okay, we say that. And sometimes we say, cross your heart. We say, I cross my heart. That means I'm swearing. So we used to say, cross my heart. We used to do cross my heart, and then we say, astaghfirullah, as if we erased it. Because we're Muslims, so we do the same act, and then we say, astaghfirullah, and erase it. Don't do that or something like that. I don't know, I forgot. But when we used to use these kinds of when we used to express these kinds of words, we used to erase it. Now, there's a lot of Muslims that use some of these bad English words. These bad English words are qadh. Qadh. That means you accuse the guy that he fornicated, or his mother fornicated, or his father was intercoursed, or all these are nasty, very bad words. But people don't pay attention to that. Even in Arabic, a lot of people use these kinds of words as if there's no problem about that. But these words are very bad words. This is kabir. This is a major sin. When you use it, you deserve to be punished by what? By 100 lashes. Imagine, you deserve to be lashed 100 lashes. Or, you deserve to be lashed 80 lashes, 80 lashes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Nur, وَالَّذِينَ يَرْمُونَ الْمُحْصَنَاتِ لم يأتوا بأربعة شهداء فاجلدوهم 80 جلدة. That accuse the chastity women, and they don't have any proofs about that, by 4 witnesses, so go and lash them 80 lashes. That are in the book and in the Sunnah, and all Muslims agreed about, is beating who accuses other people. So if somebody accuses somebody else by fornicating or homosexual, that means he said that you are somebody who goes and intercourses men, or you are intercoursed, or something like that, he deserves to be lashed 80 lashes. And when we're talking here about al-muhsan, we said al-muhsan, who's al-muhsan here? Not the one that is married. Not al-muhsan here is not al-muhsan that we spoke about last lecture. Al-muhsan here is the chastity man, or chastity. You see? So chastity man or chastity woman. speak about muhsan, that means chastity, but in the chapter of zina, fornicating, the muhsan is the one that intercourse, an official intercourse, one day in his life, as we mentioned that. At-ta'zir. Ta'zir is any punishment that is not mentioned in the Quran nor in the Sunnah. So the judge can punish by putting people in jail. He can punish them by beating them. He can punish by taking some of their money, according to some scholars. Take some money. He can punish him by kicking him out of his work, cutting his salary. Lots of ways to punish. As you know, punishments nowadays are a lot. You can use even some kinds of punishments that we have these days, okay? So, all kinds of sins that there is no specific punishment for it, and like somebody who desires males. For example, he's homosexual, but he never intercourse, but he goes kissing children, for example. Or somebody who goes kissing women. He didn't intercourse her, but he kissed her. We found him in a bad way with a woman in one place, and he was kissing her or doing anything else, but he didn't intercourse her. That he's not allowed to eat it. Like somebody who eats blood or eats dead food, or somebody who accuses people with any bad accusation but not fornicating nor homosexual. For example, he accuses them to be I don't know what he just insults people. It's insulting people, yeah. Or somebody who steals something but not by the conditions that we're allowed to cut his hand in. Or somebody who betrays his trust. Somebody who is responsible to take care of the treasury. A lot of people who sell and cheat in selling. For example, give people things that are not proper, or don't work properly in the work, or sell them some clothes that are not good, or sell them cars that are not proper, or whatever. They cheat people. Or some who don't weight a proper weight, so they just steal people by measuring things not properly. Rulers or governors that don't follow the Quran and the Sunnah, that means they don't follow the Islamic law, or who punish the people unfair, or who keep on calling to things that are jahili things, like instead of calling for the Islam, they call for their race, or call for their nation, or whatever, nationalism or racism or whatever, these kinds of things. Or they accuse others that they're black and they're white, or they're Arabs, or they're Hindus, or they're Indian, or they're Afghanis, or they're English, in a way that suits the crime that they did. So it was a law. He could add the extra punishment, or it's less than that, he would make it less. If somebody's always doing rebellion acts, he deserves to be punished more than others. And if somebody else sometimes does those rebellion acts and sometimes he doesn't do it, he deserves to be punished less than that. So if somebody, for example, goes in the streets and starts watching the women of people, and starts, for example, it's not like if somebody only spoke to one woman or one child. I mean by speaking to a child, that means in a sexual meeting. And I'm speaking about somebody who has these bad intentions to homosexual intentions. Of course, I'm translating now what the Sheikh is saying. This is so clear. So there is something called the less the pain. I mean, differs from a person to another. Now, for example, noble people, if you just look at the bad, they get that affects them, that pains them. But somebody else, if you insult him, he doesn't pay attention to that. Punish somebody just by telling him taqillah, fear Allah, or by just using some harsh words. Don't you have any sense? Don't you think? Don't you do so and so? So that he will like that to happen to him. He won't like to hear that from you. Sometimes you would punish somebody by boycotting him. Giving him salam, saluting him. That they didn't participate in Ghazwat Tabuk. So he just boycotted them about 50 days, and then that's it. So, but he didn't use the same punishment with the hypocrites. Why? Because they're hypocrites. It's not gonna pain them. They're not gonna pay attention to it. Now, for example, if you have a very good son that respects you, and once he made a problem, he did something bad that he deserves to be punished. So you boycott him about a few days. He will feel so sad for that. And he'll come to you, kiss your hand, Daddy, I did a big crime. I didn't mean to do that. So that he feels that. But you might have another son that he doesn't pay attention to you. He says, you boycott me, okay, I don't care about you. He just opens the door, goes out, doesn't care about you. That's a problem. So there's no reason to boycott that child, that kid. Because he doesn't feel escaped from the battle, and you decided that he committed a crime, so you just take him off. You, for example, he was in a high rank, he was a colonel, he was a general, you lower him to a colonel. That's a big punishment to him. As if you humiliated him. But he deserves that. If he did what he deserves that, for example, he escaped from the battle, he left his army and he just rescued himself, so he deserves a punishment like that. You fire him from his government, his post. And you might beat. Black on his face, coloring his face black, and then he goes near people with a black face. You humiliated him. Or putting him on a donkey, flips over with a black face, and he passes near people looking at him. Oh, that's nasty. And you say, look, this guy did so and so, and he deserves to be humiliated like that. Now, Umar did that to somebody who witnessed a false witness. So he punished him this kind of punishment. Because the liar has a black face in the judgment day. And because he flipped over the witness, he deserves to be flipped over on a donkey. Not allowed to beat anybody more than 10 lashes unless there is an evidence to do more than that, which are the official punishments. Specific number. Some say you can punish until you reach one of the punishments, official punishments. So, for example, 39, because the official punishment is 40. So you can reach 39, for example. Or 80, or 80. The judge could choose, or the governor could choose. But allowed to punish somebody who did something less. And let me give you an example. Somebody was with a girl, and he did all things, but he did intercourse her. You're not allowed to punish him the punishment of fornicating, because he did fornicate. So you can't beat him 100 lashes because he didn't fornicate to deserve 100 lashes. But you are allowed to beat him less than that. The days of Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, that made his stamp as the stamp of Umar. That means he's now going to become, he might start using it to trick people. So Umar radiallahu anhu, and he took that from, and he stole from the treasury by this stamp. That means, for example, he just stamped it and went to the treasury and said, okay, look what Umar gave me. So the treasurer, when he saw the stamp of Umar, he gave him money. Lashes the first day, and then the second day 100 lashes, and the third day 100 lashes. Two, couple, man and woman, in a bed, one bed. Practicing any specific acts. That they are muhsanayn. So actually, if they fornicated, they commit adultery, so they deserve to be stoned to death. So he didn't stone them to death because there isn't any proof about that, but he lashed them 100 lashes. Goes intercourses the maid or the she slave of his wife, the slave girl of his wife, that if she made it official for him 100 lashes, or else he deserves to be well, this hadith actually is weak. All what we mentioned here are the opinions of Ahmad and Shafi'i. Now for Imam Malik rahimahullah, that the penalty, that means the governor, if he finds that it is good to kill, he's allowed to do that. And gives information to the enemies, so he deserves to be killed. Says, I stop, I don't say he's allowed to be killed. But Imam Malik and some other Hanabila say, yes, he deserves to be killed. Abu Hanifa and Shafi'i say, no, he doesn't deserve to be killed. Not a murtad. When our scholars say that he deserves he's a spy, he gave information to the enemies, and others say no, he's not allowed, he doesn't deserve to be killed, that means he's not a kafir, murtad. And there are several scholars from the followers of Ahmad and Shafi'i say that the innovator that keeps on calling people to follow false opinions and innovations, and even he can be somebody who calls people to follow all kinds of bad opinions, he deserves to be killed by the book and the sunnah. Friends or followers of Imam Malik say the same thing. That Imam Malik says that it is permissible to kill one who calls to innovations like Al-Qadariyya, like others, because they rude the people. Not because he's kafir, and some say no, because he is corrupting. He's a corrupter. But the majority say that no, he's a kafir, because you can't do sorcery unless you commit some acts that are against Islam. That means, for example, taking the Quran, putting it in dust, or writing it with blood, or putting it in impure places, or something like that. So that means who does that? Apostates. Abu Hanifa says he deserves to be punished by killing him if he acts these crimes. Now, or keeps on killing people in a soft way to take their money. Any rebellious person in the society or in our